kitchen.
Okay, we're just a little bit giddy today because first of all, we're together!
Yay! We are in Christina's kitchen.
Welcome to my kitchen.
And today we have a very special guest. We're not just gonna do plain old interview like we normally, well, they're not really plain old interviews.
I hope they're not plain old interviews. Are they plain old interviews?
We have a little bit of fun, but I think we're gonna have a lot of fun today.
Oh my God, so excited.
So what are we gonna be doing?
We are actually baking bread, but not just with us, because that would be fun.
It would be fun
but
for
it's
us.
not as exciting as what we have in store for you guys today, because we have none other than the bread guru of the Great Canadian Baking Show. I think you know who he might be.
Season 4.
But we're gonna let you know anyway.
Yeah.
We have Larry Harris actually coming to our kitchen.
Your kitchen.
My kitchen, technically, but ours today.
The kitchen.
And he's actually gonna be baking bread with us today. And we could not be more excited.
Yeah,
We've been
super excited.
looking forward to this for so very long. And the day has finally arrived.
Yes, and it's a beautiful day in White Rock, BC.
Mm-hmm.
We are looking out over the water, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful setting to bake some bread.
And it's gonna be a beautiful day baking bread for you guys with our buddy Larry.
Yes, hope you enjoy. Larry, thank you so much for being here with us. We're really excited that you're going to show us how to bake some bread here.
Thank you very much, Lisa and Cristina. I'm happy to be here and
Oh,
bake with you. This is a dream.
It is
It's a dream for us as well. So
Yeah.
thank you so much, because I know you traveled all the way from Edmonton to come out to
Yes.
the West Coast to do this. And seriously, once you agreed to do this crazy thing with us today, we've been so excited
We've
and
been looking forward to it,
so
yeah.
looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So the day is finally
Me
here.
too, because I love baking with other bakers.
Nice.
fantastic.
So do we. This
All right.
is awesome.
So
All right.
we're going to be making some
Shokupan.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna make some shokupan, which is traditional milk bread from Japan. And what kind of sets it apart from other breads is you make this thing called a udani, which is hot water and flour mixed together, and then you let it sit in the fridge overnight, and then you incorporate it into the bread. And the nice thing about it is it helps keep it moist, and the bread actually lasts longer if you want it to last longer.
If that's ever a thing.
If that's ever a thing, but it helps keep the bread, and it just makes a nice, really soft, beautiful loaf of bread.
So exciting. So Christina just got back from Japan, and
Yes.
my son just got back from Japan, and Bruno's in Japan right now.
Bruno's in
so
Japan.
It seems
Everybody's
like we're really
in
on
Japan.
theme.
There are
Where
so
you
many
guys
people
going?
go. We're not going anywhere.
He came to White Rock.
We came to White Rock.
It's
So,
almost the same
so hopefully
thing.
you tried some shokupan in Japan, so you can tell me whether or not this is actually a good recipe. Or
You
not.
know what? I didn't try any shokupan in Japan,
Oh.
which is crazy, right? I should
Yes.
have. But you know what I found was really interesting is all of the Japanese-esque kind of things, aside from mochi, because mochi was available pretty much everywhere. And maybe we just didn't look properly, but all of the amazing food markets, the food markets in Japan are like next level crazy.
Yes.
And you could find everything. Madeleines everywhere, cannelé everywhere, macarons everywhere,
But not
croissants,
Japanese stuff.
but not Japanese stuff. So Japanese
Fascinating.
cheesecake, which is one of the things that I really wanted to try there, we found in Osaka in one place ever. Like even the street markets, anything like that. It was so bizarre that we couldn't find it. And maybe we just didn't know where to look,
We needed to come here, and you needed to have Larry.
right?
Yes.
To do
Yeah.
the shokupan. And I'm sure bread is life as far as I'm concerned. It's
So
one
it
of
is.
those foods that I would never be able to live without. And so all bread in my books is good bread.
Good bread.
Yes. All bread is
We
good.
started our udani yesterday.
Essentially, we've taken equal parts of bread flour and boiling water and mushed it all together into this lovely. Then we're gonna pop it in the fridge overnight. Is that what it's supposed to look like?
That's exactly what it's
Okay.
supposed to look like.
Yes. Woo. Yes. We passed step one. Step one, check.
Check.
Larry's like, oh, good God, what did I get myself into?
Larry's better bake along.
I love doing this though, because
so awesome.
I used to teach them courses, and I need to get back to doing that type of thing. So
Marvelous.
we're gonna make, because not everyone has a mixer, so we're gonna make 2 loaves with the mixer and 2 loaves by hand, and then we'll see who comes out on top.
I'll do the mixer.
I'm good with kneading bread. I find it
Therapeutic.
Therapeutic.
Yes.
Yep.
Perfect.
I love kneading bread,
Yeah.
so I'm good.
Try doing that with 100 loaves of bread.
Oh my gosh.
Probably not as therapeutic.
Probably not.
Can't even imagine.
You need therapy after doing 100 loaves of bread.
Yeah,
So
you have
when
to stretch.
When you did,
The bread puns
Puns
are coming.
Unfold.
so when you did have your own home bakery, you started off as a
Yes.
bakery. Micro
Bakery,
bakery.
yes.
Why is that difficult for me to say? I'm not sure. Anyway, micro bakery. Is that how you were doing it? Like you were doing a lot of it by hand, or did you have like Mondo mixer, like commercial mixer at least that you could do the bread?
Initially I was using 3 KitchenAid mixers and doing 2 loaves at a time in the mixer, and they're all going, and I was doing like that. But as the volume picked up, I bought a large spiral mixer that I could do 10 loaves at a time in it, and so that cut back the time and how much folding and everything that I need to do afterwards. But I still always did the stretch and folds because it was all sourdough for the most part, except for the Shokupan that I made.
Right.
But I used mechanical assistance.
I think you need to when you're baking to that
For
scale.
quantities.
And you
Oh,
know
for sure.
when it started off small, it wasn't probably not so bad. But then you guys like ramped up like super quick. You went
Yeah.
from 6 to
Yeah, I mean the first bake we did was 12 loaves of bread, and then we ended up probably in 6 months doing over 100 loaves of bread every
That's amazing.
time we baked.
awesome. Yeah, and it was a family affair.
Yes, everyone was involved. My wife was involved. My son was involved, and they really looked after making sure everything looked good and looking after the customer service. And I was in the back doing all the baking,
All the labor.
all the labor.
Love it. I love always seeing all your beautiful loaves come up on Instagram. I just feel like I can smell it through my phone.
Yeah, the house always smelled good.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll do like do you want to do
520 grams, or do you want to heat it all up at once?
No, that's the flour.
We could do them
Oh,
separately.
yeah. Sorry,
So-
392 grams. Sorry.
392.
It's a good thing you're here.
Yeah.
So we'll do them separate, and then that way we
Okay.
can keep.
So
Yeah.
392 for the one stand for the stand mixer, and then 392 for the bowl.
Yeah. Just- No, and
I always
so-
know, right?
So yes,
97
everything's
is
weighed out
too
here,
much.
but it's not going to make a lick of difference whether. No, you don't have to worry about that. It's 397 is not going to make a difference. Just
Perfect.
it's good to weigh, but don't
Okay.
fret too much about it.
And do a little micro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
probably
then
probably needs about a minute to kind of get up to the right temperature.
Okay.
Okay.
And we want to divide this in half. An
Yes, we do.
approximate half.
An approximate half.
Two.
So we'll just do that. Yeah. So just break it up into little pieces
Okay.
because it'll just mix in better that way.
Okay.
And having said that, the other day I made some of this, and I remembered after I'd taken the dough out and was starting to proof it, that my udani was still in the fridge.
Oh.
Yeah, so
If
we
you
weren't
needed
quite
the time.
sure whether we.
So
we
I
took ours out.
so I actually took the dough and I put the udani in and mixed it up a little bit more on the mixer, and it actually turned out fine.
Because there could be a hot spot
Oh,
here, and it feels
let's
really
see.
cold underneath, but it's warm up top. We should mix it.
Yeah,
a little
actually,
bit.
it's on. Yeah, so that gives you like. Okay, so I think.
I have
it's-
one of these too. I actually know how it
Look
works.
at me mixing them out. It's good. Trying to get rid of the hot spot. I haven't spilled any yet. It's
Good.
balancing act.
This yeast can go up to about 110 Fahrenheit,
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
So we're good.
Awesome.
This is the yeast I like. I like the Sap instant yeast because you can just toss it in there. You don't have to bloom it or anything like that, and it's just good solid yeast.
Sounds good. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome. And you can.
93.
perfect.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Thanks for that
So
one.
we'll
And
put
then
this
That
in
one
here.
in there, and then I'll get another one.
The milk is 392 grams.
392.
Yes.
Nothing else.
Where are we?
Okay, so we got our milk and our udani.
So are you guesstimating 2.5 teaspoons? Or are you
Right now I'm guesstimating 2.5 teaspoons.
Yeah.
I think that might be 2.5 teaspoons.
So 2.25 is what you need in your bowl.
Not
Okay.
2.5.
Wait, what? Oh, nope, 2.25.
2.25, yeah.
2.25?
Yeah. We were talking about 2.5 for some reason.
But you guestimated 2 and.
I
It'll be
don't know.
great. It'll be great.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Totally.
So, 40 grams of granulated sugar. Will this one work?
This one will work.
40 grams?
Sugar works. See?
Sugar's heavy enough.
Sugar is heavy enough, so it does that. So if you had actually put in the sugar first and then did the other 8 grams, then it
See,
would have been fine.
I'm not familiar with this.
Yeah.
Look,
I
41. But that's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
And some flour. We need some flour.
Yep.
Oh, and yeah, so I'm just putting everything in all at once.
Okay.
It works fine.
Awesome.
You don't have to be too fussy about that. 520 grams of flour.
There's the flour there for you. That's bread flour.
This is bread flour,
Yes,
okay?
it is. Yes.
This will work with regular all-purpose flour as well.
Okay.
420 grams, I think I said.
520.
Sorry, 520.
Which is, I think, the same amount of measurement that I usually use for my sourdough, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, well, 520 on a sourdough will give you about 800 gram loaf, right? 900 gram.
I have zero idea, but it sounds good.
Oh, look at you.
520.
That's impressive.
520 on the button.
No, 519.
No,
Oh,
you
see?
got it.
Yeah. It'll be good. It's
He
He
almost
knows
there.
what he's doing.
It'll
Yeah.
be good.
You need some.
We need to put in butter and salt. And
Yes.
the salt and the yeast should be at opposite sides of the bowl.
Yeah,
according
or
to-
underneath the flour.
Okay.
As
Right,
long
which
as it
is what
doesn't
you
have
did.
the
So he's covered the
direct
yeast
contact.
with the flour.
Yeah, and I think it's the same amount
So
of.
salt is 8 grams.
So again,
2
so you just
teaspoons.
add it on there and you should be good.
2 teaspoons. And then butter, you need 6 tablespoons.
Yeah, see?
There we go.
6 tablespoons of butter.
And we're using salted butter.
He's
But
very
it'll work.
upset about the salted butter.
I'm sorry, it's my, and I think this is a good question for this or that, because, I actually used to use, unsalted butter when it was asked for in, various recipes. And so I'd have both in my kitchen
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
And then I just found, because I actually add salt to everything I bake, savory or sweet.
Yeah.
And I found that using salted butter to start off with, because you're gonna add salt anyway, and I know the argument, you can then
Yeah.
add as much salt as you need, but I always find that you end up adding more salt if you start with unsalted butter anyway with
Yeah.
everything. And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Okay.
So everything's in
Thank
here.
you. Okay, so we've added the instant yeast, sugar, unbleached flour, butter, and salt.
And
the salt and yeast are not touching because the salt will kill the yeast.
It can.
Can kill the yeast.
can
The
kill
sugar feeds it, the salt can kill it.
But
Okay,
when it's mixed up, it's fine.
good. So it says, using a spatula, loosely mix the ingredients together.
But not on your scale. Yeah, just loosely. And you could even, you know what? You could even just toss it onto the mixer and let the dough hook do its thing.
Right.
This just gives it a bit of a
head start.
head start.
Yeah.
And then it's going to knead with the dough hook in the mixer for 7 to 10 minutes.
Yes.
Yes.
Until it it'll start to pull away. It is a very soft dough, so don't.
It's beautiful.
Looks very soft.
I am looking forward to kneading this.
Yeah, wait, you're gonna get that chance very soon.
I need to knead this dough.
Yes.
I'm ready to see that.
There you go. Is that good
It's
enough?
the yeast
They didn't
we
like
can
that
do.
bread.
It's the yeast.
Yeah!
The yeast we can
The
do.
yeast you can do.
Yeah. So
And I
on
know
the-
you guys are all just here for all the bread puns.
Yep.
So on a KitchenAid, it'll be about speed 2.
Okay.
In theory, you don't want to go past speed 2 on your KitchenAid
For bread.
for bread.
Okay.
And there's
So you're checking it, doing the window pane test, seeing if you can see through it when you pull it.
yeah, it's just
And
about there.
Did you do a poke test on it?
No, it's later on.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's after it rises,
Yeah.
right?
You can
See,
poke it.
I read
You can
ahead.
poke it if you want.
I like
It's not
poke.
gonna do.
So
Poking dough is awesome.
the amount of work that she's doing versus the amount of work that I'm doing, I'm okay with it.
I'm good with this too. Like seriously, I actually really quite enjoy it. It's my workout for the day. So Larry, a lot of people think that baking bread is difficult, and you know, we had a later start, and look at this, our dough's almost together, whether you're using your stand mixer to do the work or hand kneading, it really doesn't take that long for it to really get together.
No.
And then it's just, you know, a lot of
time. Resting time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even then,
Oh, that's beautiful. Wow. It's getting close, I think.
it should be something that I think people do feel a bit more comfortable about because, yeah.
No, exactly. I mean, it's just bar water, salt, yeast if you're doing a yeasted dough.
Do you want to come in and eat it?
And
No, I'm good.
I mean, there is some technique to it, but you just need to keep doing it to learn the idiosyncrasies of the bread.
Yeah.
Well, how is her technique?
It's good. I'm not sure if I'd do that whole
Stretch?
so much.
No? Okay. Do you want to just do do a regular knead?
Yeah.
Okay. Is this okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and this bread is fairly enriched because it has the milk, it has the butter.
Yeah.
So would you call it an enriched
Yeah,
dough then?
it's definitely enriched.
Yeah.
But it's not as enriched as some things.
Okay. All right.
Still turning a little bit, but it's getting there.
Super close.
Yeah, so what we
Looking
want
good.
is to be able to see the light through it without it tearing.
Yeah. We'll just do another couple minutes.
Sounds good.
I mean, this would probably be okay, but you know, let's aim for perfection.
I think in every other thing, I'm like, we're not going to aim for perfection. Today we will. It smells amazing in here already.
Yeah,
we
haven't baked anything.
I know. Quite impressive.
We're both doing that.
What did you guys do?
We're bobbing our heads around.
Wow. This is what you do when you're
This is what you
waiting
do
for
when
the
you're waiting
dough.
for-
Okay.
Well, I think
All right. How's that looking?
Nope.
You just poked it.
I poked my finger through there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it needs a little more.
all right, I'm getting there
I
here.
think it's a lower elevation here.
You're thinking that maybe you're going to be done with the hand kneading before our mixer is done.
I don't know.
Those are experienced hands.
No kidding.
Made many loaves of bread.
Many.
Wow. So just be gentle with the dough.
Yeah.
Not like, don't beat it up.
No.
I was beating it up.
So don't smack it on the counter. Oh, it looks so beautiful.
Yeah, look at that. It's almost like you're shaping it as you're kneading it.
Oh.
It's a much less violent knead.
I was going to take this a little slower just so it's
Yeah.
easier.
Easier to work and easier to see. So explain to our viewers what the kneading process does to the gluten.
What the kneading process does is it stretches it out. It allows the dough to rise and to bake up in the oven without falling down in on itself.
Perfect. And how do you know if it is finished?
Like that.
Yeah, beautiful.
But don't put your finger through it. Yeah, I think this is fine.
Yeah, that looks good. Beautiful.
And then, so we'll just put it in here.
Okay, do we have to grease the bowl or anything?
Yeah, you could, but because we're using the bowl, we're mixing it and it's got dough on it.
Right.
So we'll just put it in there and we want it to
Want to cover
about double in size. We'll cover it up with
it up
some
with some plastic?
plastic or a towel,
Dish
one of the
towel?
two.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Dish
about
towels?
an hour
No
as
problem.
we go.
Yes.
Actually,
Always
this
wash
is-
your hands. Practice
Actually,
safe
this is good enough. We
breading
can put the other one.
underneath that. Oh,
Okay.
It can be a towel, saran wrap, or a lid.
Okay. Perfect.
Whatever you
Good
want.
to know.
awesome.
I've been a lot gentler with this dough since you showed me. I'm probably still not doing it justice like you did, but
fine.
yeah, but I find, you know,
You're doing it. That's all that matters.
I was a lot more violent because I kind of take my aggression out by kneading dough.
I mean,
maybe you'll have better results now.
Maybe. Maybe it's like Siri, it'll treat me better if I'm nice to Siri, if I'm nice to my dough.
your
You know?
dough is not going to say, that wasn't very nice.
Actually,
I'm just trying to help you.
Yes, actually, I'm very polite to Siri because I don't know what they actually do listen to and how they actually react.
She's told me I'm not going to answer that before.
Did she really?
Really?
Oh, because you kind of wonder, you know, sometimes Siri's fabulous, right? You know, you ask her something really crazy and she'll come back with some great answers. And then other times, like if you're a bit more of like a jerk to Siri,
Yeah.
do you think they lead you off on all these weird tangents and paths that
Oh.
are nowhere near what you've actually
Probably.
wanted?
Maybe.
Probably.
Possible.
Is Siri smart like that?
I wouldn't put it past them.
So this almost looks like speaking of those buns and stuff, but like a Hawaiian king buns. Yeah, have you had those before? Or?
I've had those. I've never made them, and I'm not sure what the recipe
Okay.
is like.
I wonder
but
if
I
they'd
bet
be
it's probably
similar.
similar.
They would call the udani something different.
Probably.
Yeah.
So there's what's the other
One called, yeah. We were just talking
Why
about
do
it
you do it in
yesterday.
the frying pan or heat up
Oh, instead of like using the boiling water, you actually cook it up on a pan instead.
with some water?
Same idea though,
Same
right?
idea. Tanzong. That's right.
Hands-on.
Okay,
right?
so
We were just
I
talking
didn't know
about
that it was in a frying pan because that was what we were talking about yesterday.
Have you always liked the color red?
Yes.
And was it like a racing car red? Like, is that sort of the, like, are you a car guy? And
Yeah, well,
Like all the hot
I do like
cars.
Ferraris.
yeah, all the hot cars when we were younger were red. Like all
Yeah. Yeah, all the ones that got stopped by the
the
police.
police were all red. Exactly.
You're in this boat there.
Oh, getting so
yeah,
close.
just-
You can feel it when you're pulling it and you're like, I know it's gonna break when I
Yeah.
give
Yeah.
it a little bit extra, and then you know it's not ready
Yeah.
yet.
You could even do this udani. You could probably do it in the morning and just kind of let it sit on the counter and then
Right.
do your bread at 11
Yeah.
noon, something like that.
Yeah, perfect.
It'll be fine.
So Larry, you had a micro bakery, and you had many orders coming in, and then was Bonvie Bakery, Bonavie?
Bondi.
Bonvie.
Good life.
Oh yes, you closed the doors to the bakery in early 2022.
Correct.
And what was your what was that decision process?
There was a whole bunch of things. We actually closed in August of 2022.
Okay.
We grew to the point where we couldn't produce anything else in the space we were in, and we're looking at ways to grow.
Yeah.
And coincidentally, at that time, in spring of 2022, as things opened up again, there seemed to be less people buying bread and baking on the weekends, because I always baked on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Because my helpers were in school and working.
Yes.
Your family.
My family. So we always baked on the weekend, and there seemed to be a drop off in sales. We
Yeah.
tried a whole bunch of different things, but it wasn't quite the way it was.
So even through COVID and everything, you were making brisk sales.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'd sell out. We'd post what we were going to be baking. It'd be gone in 15 minutes.
That's crazy.
It was.
Wow.
That is
It
amazing.
was unreal.
Yeah.
The response to the baking and what we were doing and what the bakery meant to us and all that stuff, and it just was phenomenal.
So
We actually won an award through as the best home bakery business.
That must have
Nice.
felt
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. So that must have been an emotional decision then too. To
Oh,
walk
very
away.
much. And
Yeah.
the other thing, funny story,
We like
is
those.
is we were going to do a pop-up for this trail race, and we're gonna be there with all our bread and stuff.
Yeah.
And I got stung by some wasps.
Oh,
And my
some?
at least two.
Oh.
And my arm went from normal size to at least twice as big. My right hand.
Oh yeah.
And
I'm
you're
right-handed. I'm
right-handed?
right-handed. And we had to cancel because I
Oh.
just could not.
I thought this was a funny
Yeah.
story.
What was
Well, I
what's
did-
the funny part? Are you getting to the punchline?
Well, Well, maybe the funny story is when we were on the baking show, I used to tease Sheldon because whenever we're eating, all these wasps would come around him. Why are you afraid of wasps? Blah, 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 blah. And then here I go and get stung and my arms falls off.
It was karma.
It was karma. Sorry, Sheldon. And so you just eliminated a weekend of baking and sales by not being well.
Yeah.
And then also our son was going to be going to university, and I thought, well, maybe I should, get a full-time job. And so we decided to shut it down and just do it for fun.
So you're doing it for fun now. Do you
Just doing
still
it for fun.
sell your breads?
No, I just give them away.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so much. Actually, it's fun doing that too.
Yeah,
And working a full-time job.
and working a full-time job right now. Yeah.
Doing what?
I do financial planning and analysis consulting for various organizations.
And do you enjoy that as much as you enjoy baking?
Yeah, it's fun.
Oh, that's good.
I enjoy
Okay,
it.
at least
I'd
you
rather
enjoy your
be
job.
baking, but
Yeah.
playing around with numbers and spreadsheets and
Yeah.
Baking for
It
fun
is.
is also nice without putting that pressure in to produce as much as you
No,
were
exactly.
producing. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
If you want to take the weekend off, you can just say,
Yeah.
not making your bread, that's fine.
Yeah. Whereas if you're actually running a business, then you're committed.
You're committed, yeah.
Yeah.
People are expecting it.
Yeah.
So how much time had you taken off from working as a financial planner? Or
Well, I
working
didn't
as
really
whatever you worked as
I didn't
before?
really take time off.
So you were still doing,
I-
but not,
No.
okay.
I was a victim of people getting laid off during COVID
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff like
okay,
that.
I see, yeah.
Okay.
And then just getting back into the working thing. The bakery was just a way to fill time,
Right,
and it was taking off, so we thought we'd run with it for
Yeah.
a while and
Yeah.
see where it would take us.
Yeah.
so you're back into the joy of it rather than
Back
the
in the
pressure
corporate
of
world.
Business. Yeah.
Well, the joy of baking, but
Yeah, I enjoyed it. There was nothing great. There's no greater joy than making something and having someone come to the door or delivering it to someone and handing them off to baking
and their
and they
face
enjoy it.
lights up.
Their
and-
face lights up, and you get messages later,
Yes,
or they post about it later. It's always good.
it's wonderful. Well, I'm excited about this bread. How's it looking?
I was gonna say you should test that.
Window pane test. Rippity rip.
Ew.
You're just not kneading
Yeah.
fast enough.
Well, see,
You
my
need-
I
violet.
think Lisa needs to do something.
Yes. Do you want to do something?
Sure.
It's actually
We wash
really,
my
really
hands.
lovely dough.
Yeah, wash your hands.
It is
Where they-
beautiful.
Wash your hands. How do you want me to do this?
And push down with your
Heel of your hand
heel of your hand, bring it back,
and then roll it. Okay.
and do the same thing.
Okay. Maybe I think it will be.
Whichever feels better.
So the question was, how did you get into?
How to
Bread
get
baking.
how to get into bread baking? I think I just
It was before COVID.
it was before before COVID. I think I really got into it more after we went on our honeymoon. We went to France and went to all these bakeries and
Aren't they the best?
France has inspired a few bakers.
yes. And early '90s there was not that great of baking in it. It was just stuff.
I think anywhere. I
Stuff.
think that
Anywhere, yeah,
Yeah.
anywhere. Although here, they're over on Crescent Beach. There's Fieldstone has been around for
Oh yes,
a long time.
they're actually opening up one like a block away.
Perfect.
It's brilliant. I'm so looking forward to it.
Yeah.
For you to make
Anyway.
all your own stuff.
But it's nice to have some beautifully baked bread, right? Like
Yeah, if you can't
Yeah,
do
it's
it,
true,
you
it's-
have to do it somewhere. Anyway, so after that, we started baking more and started making bread. And,
Both of you?
no, just me.
Just check.
My wife supported me.
Oh, perfect. Even better. That's what
Please
we're
bake.
for.
that's a true
Yeah.
partnership.
Yeah.
Well, she got to eat it.
And I've just been baking ever since then, and bread's always been something. But I started doing, I had some failed attempts at sourdough, and it didn't work out. But we've been essentially having bread at home since probably about 2014, 2015, without having to buy anything from the store.
Nice.
So since
Wow.
about then, I've been baking sourdough and been doing it all since then.
Yeah.
See, she's doing it.
Oh, well, it
Oh.
still tears.
Maybe just a few more. So very rarely do we buy
Buy
bread
bread.
from another bakery.
Yeah.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
When you've got the
Totally.
bread guru here making fresh homemade bread, sourdough, Shokupan. What other breads do you make? Are these like your two favorite go-tos?
These are the main ones, but the sourdough you can make. I make a light rye, make pumpernickel, jalapeno cheddar. I do a multigrain one every once in a while. So there is lots of variety.
Yeah.
Variety in there.
That's the nice thing about sourdough. With Shokupan, can you do additives there, or are you a purist when it comes to that? Or I guess you could take some of the dough and maybe do
For sure.
roll in a filling or
Oh
something.
yeah,
like that.
I've taken this dough. You can make
Cinnamon buns.
You can make some cinnamon buns with it. You can put some cheese and jalapenos as a roll in it. I think we're probably good.
Okay.
Good. Okay. Well, there you go. So that was a lot longer than using your stand mixer, but it can be done.
Yeah.
All right. If there's something so like just therapeutic and hypnotic about just working with the dough, let me just holding it.
You just hold it until it rises.
I'm here.
There
You're
you
gonna
go.
cover me.
Or let's just
You're gonna grease this one.
yeah. You don't have to. Put a little butter.
Little butter never hurt no one.
A little butter, a little oil.
See, it's a good thing. I had a little extra butter left over from.
Well, there's still half a pound there, so.
Yeah, we're good. Oh my goodness. What's that? The dough. Bread dough.
Oh, it smells so good.
Beautiful. All right, so it's been rising for an hour and a bit.
Yeah. It's
And we
doubled in size,
We
so
did the poke test.
yeah, so you can do the poke test. Put your finger in there, pull it out, and just kind of slowly come back, which is good. Now this should come out more or less. Remember this one we didn't.
It had the dough stuck in it and it wasn't greased, yeah.
Yeah, but it's still there's not much.
That's really beautiful actually how it came out.
Now, so we're gonna make 2 loaves out of this.
Okay.
And when we're making the Shokupan, we take 3 pieces of dough, we roll them up so you get that trademark kind of shape. So
Okay.
we have to actually divide this into 6 pieces. What I'm gonna
6
do,
pieces because we're going to have 3
Yeah.
pieces each for.
tear that. So I'm just gonna weigh how much the dough is, and then we're gonna do the math. 1250 divided by 6 is about 100. Divide it in half is the way I usually do it,
Yeah.
and then
One.
in 3s. So you could just eyeball it, but
It's good to kind of know.
so that's 190, 210.
Good.
So
Perfect.
now-
Look at the bubble.
We roll them into little rolls. So these are large buns, but if you had a larger one, you could use a scraper and go around like this. But it's a little hard when it's a small one.
Yeah.
So just use your hand.
I don't have as big hands as you do. Can I use both hands?
Yeah, you can use both hands. And so what you're actually doing here,
It's creating surface tension.
yeah, you're pulling the dough underneath when you're doing that rolling motion and creating that surface tension. Yeah, you just want to have it nice and smooth, and you want the bottom all sealed up. You don't want to have a big crease there. And if you've added any little bits of dough, just kind of fold it over. Yeah.
You're faster at me than
Well.
than I am at this, but
What
I
bakery I would
be
do,
quite surprised if you weren't.
make 30 or 40 of these loaves at a time. And so what's that?
Lots. It's just an estimate.
90 little boules.
Yeah.
And we'll just let those sit just for a few minutes.
Okay. Just a few minutes.
Yeah, 20 minutes. Yeah.
20 minutes. All right.
Yeah, so after 20 minutes, we're gonna actually roll them out with the rolling pin and then roll them up like a cinnamon roll. kind of thing, and
Okay.
then they go into the pan.
Perfect.
So now they just rest for 20 minutes.
Do we want to check the other ones? Or
So these are the ones that were
hand? Ooh.
hand
Looks
Kneaded.
mixed.
Very lovely.
so good.
I know, it smells amazing.
So this is one we lined with
Butter.
butter. Came out nice and clean.
Yeah.
And as long as it's kind of in that 205, 215-ish range,
Okay. Ooh, that's a big one.
230. Work with the towel.
Okay.
Excellent. 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Got it. So we're going to use two different types of pans.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So we have just kind of a regular loaf pan,
Yep.
and then we have these Pullman pans, which are essentially the same size,
Yeah.
except they have a lid on it,
Right.
and it'll make the bread square.
Perfect
As
for
opposed to,
sandwiches.
yeah,
Sandwich Shokupan.
sandwich.
Yes.
Yeah, you could wipe it with some olive oil or something like that, or just
You know what
give it a
I
quick
am
spray.
realizing? We don't really know which ones were the ones that were done in the mixer and which ones were done by hand because they
Yes,
all
we
look-
do.
Okay, you
'Cause
know.
I kept track of that.
Okay, good. So I was thinking they all look pretty much the same. Just
In theory, these pans are non-stick, but
okay.
it's just a little bit of assurance.
Okay.
So now that it's proofed the 20 minutes, we're actually going to flip it over and we roll it out a bit. No flour,
It's nice and smooth.
it's nice and smooth. Doesn't have to be perfect. You want to roll it out so it's about, 4 inches by about 8 inches, something
Yeah.
like that. And then we roll it up. So it's kind of like a jelly roll.
Okay.
Let's see that.
Yeah.
And then we just set it in the pan.
Perfect.
I'll do
Right
one pan.
in the middle of the pan?
Well, we're gonna do 3.
Oh, okay. So
So each one gets 3.
okay. So do we kind of do 3 rises then for this? Like, is this
Technically, yeah.
because this is going to sit for a little bit longer?
Yeah. It'll
It'll fall
do its thing.
Yeah.
And because of the spray in there, it'll move around a little bit.
Okay. So
So these 3,
these 3 here.
yeah,
Okay. And flip it upside down,
yeah,
and then roll it out.
yeah.
Ooh, I feel like okay.
No, it'll be fine.
I'm ruining it.
No,
Sorry.
don't press hard.
Okay. It's just
it's
kind of
really,
a gliding,
yeah. You're just
and then that's
yeah.
right
That's it.
there. Okay. And then just roll it. Okay. Okay.
Add some toppings to this, cinnamon sugar type stuff if you want.
I heard garlic and cheese.
Yeah, we do. I do one where I actually leave it into a large ball that's 640-ish grams,
Yeah.
and roll it out, and then you spread a mixture of butter and garlic over top of it. Sprinkle a bunch of parsley on it, and
Oh
then
my
I
gosh.
cut it into 10 squares. Stack the squares up
Yeah.
and plop it in the pan. And then after you
Oh my
bake
goodness.
it, it's just kind of like a pull-apart
Oh,
garlic bread. and
that
it's
sounds amazing.
fabulous.
Because I'd much rather have savory than sweet any day.
Yeah,
How does that look?
perfect.
Yay!
Cover up the ones with the lids, but we will anyways.
Why not? Looks nice.
Half an hour, 45 minutes.
And they look
Ooh, look at
absolutely
those.
So they're up.
beautiful.
Actually show these off. Look at these beautiful Shokupan.
These guys,
Are not as high as they need to be.
not quite as high as they need to be, but
And then once you bake them, they will also rise up a little bit as well. So, okay. So how high should they be? Like
I like to get these ones to the top. These ones, actually, these ones might probably another half inch higher.
Bake up almost to the.
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out in half an hour.
Okay.
Okay. So these ones, we need to put an egg wash on. 1 egg. About a tablespoonish of water.
Could you use cream as well?
You certainly could. So with the egg wash on breads, You can have egg and water, egg and milk, egg and cream, egg yolk and cream. And as you keep doing those, the wash will be more darker.
Oh,
So something like croissants, I'd use either egg and cream or egg yolk and cream
okay.
to get a really nice
Get the
dark.
nice dark
Yeah.
color
Yeah.
on it. Yeah.
For this, just the egg and water is good enough.
Perfect. I wish you guys could actually smell this just right now. The smell is incredibly amazing,
It's just raw dough.
and we have not even baked them yet. So raw dough smells this good. I cannot imagine how
so excited about
beautiful these will be.
Yeah. So just brush them on with your pastry brush. You can use this type, or even silicone ones are perfectly fine. You don't want to get too much down the sides because
It'll bake.
it'll bake. It shouldn't stick, but it'll brown just a bit more.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Can't wait to taste these.
One thing with egg wash, you always have
Extra
Lots
egg.
left
extra
over.
eggs. So let's put these in the oven.
Okay.
Would you egg wash
No.
these as well?
No,
So you
'cause
don't
it's-
egg wash the Pullman ones.
You don't want egg wash the Pullman ones.
Okay.
Just make sure the lids are on, and we'll.
We can pass them to you if you
Perfect.
want.
All gonna fit in
Yeah, they're all fit.
there? 25 minutes?
About 25 minutes. Well, it's about 35 minutes
Okay.
in total, but let's bake them at 25 for now. Or one at a time.
I do have actual like oven mitts
Ooh,
too.
ooh, we almost flipped it all the way around.
It did.
Somersault.
They look beautiful.
Do you have Teflon fingers?
Yeah, somewhat. So you can see
Wanna make
the.
some pirouette cookies?
Yes, the little spirals
Oh,
on
that
those.
looks really lovely.
We'll just let those cool off a bit. As tempting as it is to dive into them now.
So
Yeah, so
Oh
we
my
just let them
goodness.
cool off at least a half an hour before you dive into them.
And so, you know, when you go to serve these, because they have like perfect, like 3 little perfect portions there, is that how you would like, would you like,
It's up
Just
to you.
break 'em open and-
It's up to you. You can break them at the where the things is, or you can
Yeah.
just slice them, or you can break them and slice them like this.
Yeah.
one for you, one for me, one for you?
Excellent. See?
Except we have 4 loaves, so.
We can do that 4 times.
Yes.
So Larry, can you tell us a little bit about how you ended up getting on the Great Canadian Baking Show?
Perseverance.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
applied every season. I was a little bit late applying for a season 1. I think didn't get to go to an audition or anything like that for season 1, but I was told to apply again. So I
Yeah.
applied again and went for auditions for seasons 2 and 3. They had the in-person ones at that
Yeah,
time.
before
and
COVID.
before COVID, and then COVID came and they delayed anything because they would normally do auditions in kind of that March,
Yeah.
April time frame, but they delayed, and then they opened up applications and started doing things and got an invite for an audition, which was done on Zoom, which was, I think, probably helped because with the Zoom audition, we were able to spend more time with them because we actually baked something right in front of them for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and spent that time with them,
Amazing.
Yeah.
and got the call to come on the show.
What did that feel like? You know, after this is the 4th
Yeah.
time,
4th time, yeah.
you finally get that call.
It was amazing. I was elated. Although I think they did post because they did it over Zoom, and I was the most reserved in my reaction out of everyone that got on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because everyone else is
You're
screaming and
gonna have
happy, and I'm like, oh,
Great Canadian.
yeah, that sounds good.
Playing
But
calm,
inside, I was
cool,
like
collected.
totally ecstatic. 'Cause,
Yeah.
you know, it's a dream, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But you just got to keep on applying.
Yeah.
That's if you don't apply, you're not going to get on.
We're still dreaming that dream, Lisa.
Oh, yeah.
Live the dream.
Yeah.
We'll
Live
keep
the
it
dream.
up. That's the goal.
That's a goal.
That's the next goal.
Yes.
And yeah, we'll keep going. I'm not gonna give up yet.
There
No,
you go.
don't give up.
Yeah. And I think I've applied. I never applied prior to COVID, so I've only ever done the Zoom, except for this year when they had the in-person auditions in Vancouver. I got an opportunity to
the
go.
open
The cast
call,
open
yeah.
call, so did
Yeah.
that, which was an incredible, amazing experience.
Yeah.
Our bread.
Oh, here we go, bread time.
Glasses, they always fog up.
And we can tell that we probably needed another like
60 grams of dough in there
Yeah,
for these particular pans.
Just to have it rise right up to the top to make that square.
You want to flip these out?
Flat.
Everything's hot.
Yes.
You do have oven mitts. you said.
I do have oven mitts, but tell
This
me
way.
I'm not the only one who does this.
This way.
That way. Tell me I'm not the only one who.
I did it
Doesn't
until I
use-
burned myself.
Okay, this one looks stuck.
Here, I get your oven mitts.
These work better. Cuisinart ones.
Oh, Cuisinart. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's slightly bigger.
Oh, look at that.
They are beautiful.
Bake in these pans without a lid to it.
Yeah, that makes total
That's
sense.
no problem. So maybe if you actually leave it cool like this,
They look nice.
they'll become more square.
Yeah.
look, you can see the USA pan.
Oh, you can. That's hilarious. I love the little ridges on them.
I love
Yeah.
that
It
too.
just gives that a little extra. And actually, if you're slicing them this way, it actually gives you some lines to
It's
follow.
gonna be very thin pieces. of
Win-win, I say. So you get the call. You're in that tent finally.
Yes.
What a great feeling.
Oh, it's the best
Second to
feeling.
none.
Like in the tent is like that first day you're walking up the tent with everyone, and you go inside, and it's like, wow,
It's real.
it brings tears to your eyes.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Well, we just had a chat with Rafikot not that long ago.
Yes.
And
Oh, she's lovely.
oh, isn't she though? And it was when she was telling the story of the first time she walked into the tent. I mean, you could see it on her face.
Yes.
And it's almost like we were transported
right
back
back there.
with her.
Oh, yeah.
And it was so cool. But
I mean, it's just you see it on TV, but then you're seeing it in person, and you're walking across that field and up those steps, and you walk in there, and it's like, oh, this is real.
and does it feel
I'm
like
really
that?
baking in here. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then so tell us about that because it's intense.
It's very
No pun intended.
it's
in
intense
one
in the
tent.
tent. Yes.
Gotta love baking. Well,
It's Bread Week.
it's Bread Week. We could not do puns.
So we need more puns. Actually.
Puns are every time, because they always take you aside. So this is a bit of a veering off, but they always take you aside and talk to you. And one of the things, the first talk of the day, always, the producer goes, it's interviewing me, says, so what's your dad joke today?
Yes.
I come up with a different one every day.
So perfect.
And you were known for your dad jokes.
Yes.
You're known as being the dad of
Yeah.
that episode.
That season. Yeah.
See,
Yes, sorry, the season.
Just one episode.
there was one episode.
Of course you
for
were.
that season,
Yes,
but
you were.
it's great being in the tent. Like you said, it's very, very intense and very nerve wracking. That first day in
I
the
believe
tent.
it.
I bet.
You got a different kitchen. You don't know where anything is. You're figuring that out. You got these people hovering around you with cameras. You got Ellen and Ann coming and asking you questions and poking at things and doing that. And then you have Bruno and Kyla come along and question what you're doing. No, they were good. They didn't really question things too much, but
Yeah.
It's
very supportive.
Yeah. So when that did happen, and you're doing something and you're feeling pretty confident about what you're putting together, and then Bruno comes along and says, "Oh, really? You're doing those flavors?"
Yes. That happens.
And then you're like, thinking,
Is this the wrong flavor?
"Is this the wrong flavor?" Yeah, exactly.
Well, you
Should
have a
I
choice.
not be?
You have a choice in reactions. It's that reaction is like, am I doing the right thing? Or because you've practiced it before, you can say, no, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I know it works. You're gonna love it.
Perfect.
So you have to be
confident
and show that you're confident as well.
But would you be feeling one thing on the inside while
But you might be
showing
feeling-
something else on the
Yeah.
outside?
Possibly.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
My big thing was actually the lavender
Yes.
on tarte paysanne, they looked at it and questioned it, but it worked out perfectly fine. So
Yes,
I'd done it many times. It worked out.
That
it was
tarte paysanne, it just about killed me because I tried baking it when I was out at the cabin, our family cabin, and they did not have a stand mixer, and I just, oh my goodness, I tried it 3 times before I finally got one right. But
The stand mixer helps out because you're making a brioche dough and you're tossing the butter in.
Yeah.
Having the stand mixer really helps to bring the butter in, but you can do it. Do it by hand. I think they've actually had people do it by hand as a technical one.
Yeah, they did. They actually had one technical where they didn't have any machines at all, and they had to like whip cream and do all sorts of stuff without the use of any machinery.
No.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
And not that it's not stressful
Enough.
Exactly.
Take away all your equipment.
Exactly, and still have the time limit that you would if you had the equipment.
Yeah.
Sure, no problem.
So how has your life changed as a result of being on the Great Canadian Baking Show?
Well, I'm here with
if
you.
At all. Yeah. That's worth it right there.
Well, actually, it's one of those things that I know you guys have talked about before, and I've talked about it with other people. Is you create this community of people that you're on the show with for your season. Then you have this larger community of people that's been on the show for every season, and we chat all the time and we get together whenever we can. But then you get this other community of people that love the show. They either love the show, want to be on the show, or just love the show. The ones that want to be on the show like you guys, and you create this other community. And you get to meet with them and talk about baking. I mean, that's the thing, is you can talk forever about baking with all these new friends because everyone loves baking.
And that's the really cool thing. And you know what? As fans of the show and passionate bakers that we are, it is so cool to us that you guys would want to spend some time with us as well. Like, we're really humbled that, you know, you jumped at the opportunity to come and do this, and we were like so incredibly,
so great.
It means so much to us.
I mean, likewise, it's just great to share our passions together.
It is very cool.
It's great because it really does feel like a big family, you know. And so now with us doing this podcast, we're able to kind of expand that family a little bit more and share. Like you were saying, that there are people that you had not heard of until you saw them on our podcast, and it's just we're sharing all this information and all these great people and linking them together, and wow, it feels good.
And then inspiring people to try different things as well. So
that's the other thing, is to try things. It's, if it doesn't work out, it's probably still gonna taste okay. Like, you know, whether you're making macarons, even bread that doesn't work out, it's still
bread.
Really good.
It's bread. It can be croutons, or you can toast it. You can make it into
bread puddings.
Bread puddings. I mean, whatever. There's lots of things you can still do with it. It's still gonna be good. Usually.
Absolutely. I'll take it any which way.
A little bit bland if you forget the salt, but that happens.
Well, if you're using salted butter,
then you're good.
But
you can add on this salt. or make garlic bread with it.
Yes. But
There's
you know,
always
if you bake
something
10 loaves of bread, you forget to put the salt in.
That's true.
That's why that mise en place is really important, because then you actually, if you set out all your ingredients in advance, and you have like all your things with your bowls in it, and then you and then you just add everything in, and then you look at your counter and you're like, I got everything. So that's the brilliant.
And then if you're on the show, you're gonna have something off in the corner, and the camera's gonna be focused on that thing as your bake is happening, because you forgot this one little thing.
And then do you notice that, or do you go, they're focusing on that a lot? Did I put that in, or did I not put that in?
That never happened to me, but there was one episode, I think it was an Italian episode, and I was making some caramel, and it was on the stove, and I was doing some other stuff, because you have to be doing multiple things at once. And then all of a sudden, on the corner of my eye, I see all these cameras come by my bench, and it's because my caramel was just about to turn, but I saved it.
Perfect.
So they're flocking with their cameras to help save the day.
And do you think they were just giving you that little, like, Larry?
No, I'm sure they wanted to see it burn. Smoke.
But you ruined ruin that photo op
Yes.
for them. That's hilarious. That's awesome. But that's actually that's almost a good little tip that
Yes.
if you're in the tent, if you see a lot of commotion around.
Just be aware.
Yeah.
That something might be hampered.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, that's hilarious.
What was your favorite moment in the tent? Or do you want to do a best and a worst?
Sure. I think the best. I mean, being star baker for Bread Week, I mean, that has to be the
That just is
best.
so perfect for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. Again, that's one of those things they want you to do. So bread's your thing.
Yeah.
Is this Star Week? And you have
You're
to
like, do not say.
do not say.
Don't
So
jinx us.
I was
Do
very
not
confident. I
jinx us.
never said a thing, so I was very happy when that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, I think the saddest, or not the saddest, or worst, going home. Yeah, whatever. But
Yeah.
that week, Anjali went home, and again, this is one of those things you create these friendships. Like we were friends before either of us were on the show,
Oh.
just through Instagram
Instagram.
and everything like that. And have her going home that same day was.
Yeah, so it was kind of
Sad.
bitter. Well,
Bittersweet,
you had,
you know.
I mean, you had the highest of highs, and then your
Yeah.
friend goes home,
Yeah.
and so the range of emotion there.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
It must have been
yeah.
very
Yeah.
exciting though when you found each other in the tent, when you saw each other.
Oh, yeah, that
the
was-
first day.
It's like I know you.
Well, it was actually the hotel, but.
Oh yeah, of course,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
You don't walk in and start
But
making it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, yeah, no, it was great to see her there and everyone else that was there.
Yeah.
And there were some people I knew, and then there's a whole bunch of people that I didn't know at the time. So
Yeah, and that's so cool. Like it's wild, like how big the community is, but then how small it is as well. It's a small world.
Yeah.
And having made those connections, and probably through the shared love of the Great Canadian Baking Show, you probably connected up with Anjali. That's how we connected.
Yeah.
That's how we are all connected
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well. It's a wonderful community builder.
Web of baking.
Yeah. There you
The
go.
wide world web of baking.
That could be
So
that could be a
true.
new show.
Yeah, we have enough going on. Thank you so much for coming and baking bread with us.
Yes.
today.
No problem. It's a pleasure. It was
Oh,
nice.
fabulous.
I'm so excited to taste it. I cannot wait.
Me neither.
Just let it cool a little bit.
We'll let it
It's
cool a
so
little bit.
hard.
I think while we're letting it cool, we should play a spirited game of
This or that.
Sounds good.
Dee, 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 dee. We're ready to play another edition of This or That. Larry Harris,
Excellent. Can't wait.
are you ready?
I am ready.
Are you sure?
Positive.
All right, let's do this, Lisa.
All right.
Oh, so bad at that.
Okay.
Okay.
First question: yeasted dough or sourdough?
Yes.
So I thought you knew how to play this or that.
Oh, I have to say this. I have to pick one.
You have
That.
Pick one.
Pick one.
Okay.
Pick one.
If I'm gonna pick one, I'll
Yeah.
pick sourdough because you can make everything you can make everything that is a yeasted dough as a sourdough dough bread. So you get all that flavor from the sourdough. So I'll pick sourdough.
Okay.
Although some things work better with a yeasted dough, but
You can make waffles from a sourdough.
you can.
Yes, I make
That
a
is
really good,
Yeah.
waffle recipe. It's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, so good. So here's a question for you, actually.
That's
Sure.
what we're doing. We're
Can-
asking them questions.
Yes.
Yeah, so not a this or that, but just as a side with sourdough, because you would pick that one. And obviously, you know, the Shokupan that we just made,
Was yeasted?
which is a yeasted bread and an enriched dough. Could you do like an enriched sourdough?
Yes, you can.
Ooh.
Yeah. What will happen is it might take longer for the proofing process because it has all that extra stuff in it, and you can just adapt the recipe just to account for the additional water and the flour and do the math and to figure out how much sourdough starter you need. But usually it's 15 to 30% depending on the weather and all of those sorts of things. But you can certainly adapt it and do it.
It's just so much math.
It's where you have a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Spreadsheet. All you
Not
Great
my
Canadian
favorite
Baking
thing.
Show, Great Canadian Baking Show alumni,
Have
I like
spreadsheets.
they love their
Not,
spreadsheets.
not all of them.
No.
No, not all of them.
Not all of them.
Steve.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Steve doesn't do spreadsheets. We know that. He does post-it notes.
Yeah, no, I had everything timed out in a
Yeah.
spreadsheet.
So you did
It
too.
seems
So
to
you're
be-
like Vincent, Rafakat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that I'm gonna have to learn how to do that.
Vincent can teach you.
It's all good.
Larry can teach you.
me.
Yeah, I mean, you can even just
I can even
write down the times. You
You
just have
just
to have
gotta
things.
start.
You just have to have things timed out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes total sense. Okay. Traditional or experimental recipes?
Yes. No, sorry.
I thought we went over this, Larry. Are you gonna do this for every question?
I do like experimenting. So let's go with experimenting. I do like trying new things, doing
Yeah.
different things. You can always fall back to the traditional ones, but it's good to expand and do new things like teaching in Shokupan,
That's so awesome.
learning macarons.
There you go.
Yes.
It's always fun to learn, and that's the brilliant thing about baking is there's so much to bake all
Never
the
stop
time.
learning.
Oh yeah, and
Never
there's
stop.
I've been baking bread a long time, but there's still hundreds and hundreds of breads out there that I've never made that
Yeah,
need to give a try.
there you go. So what would be at the top of your list in terms of like a cool flavor experiment or a type of bread that you want to experiment with that you haven't done yet?
Good question. You should have given me these questions in advance so I could
That's
prepare.
fun.
Raisin bread.
Raisin bread.
Give me all the raisin bread.
I'd like to experiment more with things like bicolor croissants
Oh yes.
Oh,
with some
yeah.
different flavors, getting some different flavors in there and trying different things. And
That would be very
I've done it a few times, mostly just with a chocolate
Mm-hmm.
layer onto croissants,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'd like to try that a bit more and practice that.
Nice.
That's actually my favorite thing is to make bean savoir.
I love them so.
Yeah.
So good. Which is interesting because our next question is about
Croissants or danishes?
yes.
Croissants.
Croissants.
All the time.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
croissants
Never
are
go wrong.
Pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, and the versatility with them too. So just in case you don't eat them all and you have leftover croissants, there's so much other stuff that you can turn them into.
Yeah, and danishes are just a dough that wants to be a croissant.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Nothing
Nothing-
wrong
nothing
with
wrong.
aspiring to be croissant.
So we're aspiring to be flaky.
Well, I mean,
Correct. I'm already flaky. So.
started out that way. Yeah. We all have our flaky moments.
We do.
And I'm Danish.
You are.
So,
Excellent.
That's perfect. Of course you are. So would you have answered Danishes to
well,
that
I'm
question?
also I'm half Dutch, so I just don't know.
So you're into the stroop waffles.
Stroop waffles.
Stroop waffles are just.
Oh, I have to make those.
Right off the waffle iron.
Mm.
So
We
good.
could have stroop waffles.
Right.
Next time.
Next
we
time,
get
stroop
together,
Stroop waffles?
And I don't know how to teach somebody how to make stroop waffles, but my opa did have a bakery,
Oh,
so I have a few different things that I like. to
some
make.
tricks up your sleeve.
So cool. It's amazing. Everything again.
Baking.
The lists are endless.
Baking.
So good. I have a list like so long
I know.
Yeah.
with new and exciting things that I want to bake.
Good thing you're retired.
I know. Baking in the morning or baking at night?
Baking in the morning.
Yeah. You're more of an early riser.
Yeah, definitely more
No pun intended.
early riser. The early bird gets nuts.
Early bird
That's
gets the
fishing.
worm.
That's fishing.
Early bird gets the warm bread.
Warm
The
bread.
warm bread?
The warm bread.
The early bird gets the warm bread.
Hey, that works.
That's a
Yes.
new one. Sure.
Yeah, getting up early. It's not too early. Like when we had the bakery, it was like getting up at 3 or 4 in the morning
Yeah.
to bake things, which is a little bit too early.
That's a
But
little early.
Yeah.
but I can't fathom. I can't understand how people are baking like at midnight and stuff. How do you do that?
You want to get to bed.
Yeah.
Because it's get up early.
Vincent.
Yeah, he doesn't sleep.
No.
Yeah,
I just don't think he sleeps.
No.
Yeah.
I think 4 hours. 5
Early
hours
morning.
a night, Yeah.
yeah, early morning.
Mornings are nice.
But is there
It feels
ever
quieter?
bad?
I don't know.
But is there ever
No.
a bad time to bake?
Apparently midnight.
Apparently midnight. So I'm asleep.
I'm with you on that one. I'm usually in bed way before midnight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Hand kneading or stand mixer kneading?
stand mixer kneading.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Save your hands. When you're
Yeah,
making
I've-
huge batches.
Well, even when I'm not making huge batches, I've done the hand thing. I know how to do it. There's other things I can be doing at the same time, so let's just put it in the machine. The machine works.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna shy away from technology if it works.
Yeah,
I love it.
totally makes
It's
sense.
essential.
Cool. Butter or olive oil?
Baking butter. Although I make a nice olive oil cake, which is really good, but
Yeah.
I think butter is the king of the baking world.
You had to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bruno will
Bruno.
He'll be watching.
He'll be proud.
More butter, the merrier.
Yes, I agree with
Never
that.
go wrong with
You
butter.
can never beat
I wonder
butter. Well,
if
you
I'd
can-
made a butter cake instead of an olive oil cake, I would have made it past.
Do you think that's what?
That's
the
probably it.
advice
I made an
was?
olive oil cake.
Yeah, what were you thinking? You were thinking olive oil cake is good.
Yeah.
Olive oil?
Next
They're
time.
Usually,
Next time.
they're
Next.
usually good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they are
It
good.
was
It
It was
good.
good.
It was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
But I ran out of time.
That is always a potential happening. Even with
There
all your
was time in
spreadsheets.
it too.
Yeah. What
With
happened?
everything
Your spreadsheets failed you?
you had your
No, the spreadsheets worked fine. It was my ability to make pipe flowers and cactuses and stuff was
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
killed me.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah,
Okay, crusty bread or soft bread?
Crusty.
Yeah?
The Shokupan's great,
Yes.
but you know, the nice loaf of plain old sourdough bread, nice and crusty. That's the
Just
best.
like-
or baguette.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, baguettes.
So are you a like end piece? Like give me that end every single time, or the absolute crusty crust part, or
Yeah.
are you like a center bread
Yes.
person?
This is I'm gonna say yes
He's
both.
saying
to
yes.
both.
So there's no.
But
bad
if I'm cutting up some baguettes, I will cut off the end. I'll probably keep it for myself and eat it while I'm cutting out the rest
Right.
of the baguette.
Okay. Yeah.
There's
for
no
everyone
way
else.
to bread bad.
No, you can't.
No.
Bread.
No
Bad.
breading bad.
That's a new.
Like
That's a
Bread,
new
bread,
series.
bread bad.
breaking,
Breading bad.
Bad breading.
Gone wrong.
breaking bread.
Breaking
Wait,
bread.
breading
Yeah,
bad.
breading bad.
Wait,
Breading
No
bad.
way- There's no way to bread bad. There's no way to bread bad.
Bad. No bad breading.
No bad bread.
We have to workshop this one a little bit more.
No, yes, I think we need some work on that one. Boule, batard, or loaf?
Batard.
Uh,
So when we started the bakery, I was making boules all the time. And a boule is good, except when you want to make, let's say, a sandwich or something like that, and you have odd shapes. Now you can cut it and you can do some different things, but
Yeah.
the batard is better for that.
For slicing it too.
Plus, when you're trying to maximize how many breads you can bake at once in your oven, you can fit more batards in than you can boules.
Makes total sense.
Yes.
And is that a personal preference? Like when you had your shop, did you find people?
People actually like them better.
Really?
Yeah.
Because of the sliceability? Yeah.
Cool.
Good.
And for loaves, they just like are just the boring of the breads.
Yeah, I mean they have their place. Like if you go to, well, those are good.
Yeah.
Like the Shokupan, they're good for doing different
He
things.
can choose which he wants to choose.
Of course.
But I like the
There's no
batard.
judgment.
I had to
There's
pick.
no judgment.
I couldn't say
There's
yes.
no
You told me
bad.
no saying yes. You have to pick this or that. So I picked one.
I know.
You did.
And okay, yeah, that's my bad.
You can't.
Breaking Bad.
Sweet or savory breads?
Savory.
What's your favorite savory combination for bread?
It's boring, but garlic butter.
I mean, that's not
boring.
That's not
delicious.
Yeah.
You can't.
But you can spice it up a bit if you use some if you confit some garlic or something like that. Put it in the butter. Add in some parsley, some
Yeah.
other herbs or things like that.
Yeah. Or maybe we should call Gavin and get some of his black garlic.
Yes.
Yes,
That
Yes.
would be
Black garlic.
that would be nice.
that would be.
Black
We need a
garlic ice
mashup.
cream.
A mashup of.
I haven't had black garlic ice cream. I
Yeah,
need to
this
try
is
that.
So I know we gotta make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your ice cream
Is in the
attachment
freezer?
is in the freezer, but
Yeah.
we have to get some black garlic.
I picked up some from Trader Joe's. They
Oh.
actually had some dry black
Oh.
garlic Yeah, so I wonder if that would
You're
work.
gonna stick around for a little while? Make
Gavin.
some black
Sure.
garlic
Yes,
ice
no.
cream?
Yes,
Make
yeah.
some ice cream.
Make some ice cream.
Oh,
I need
wow.
some more. I need some more cream.
Cream.
I can't believe we're at number 10 already.
I know.
That
That
went
was
by so fast. That was awesome. And you
Rapid
know what?
fire.
You know what the last question is?
No, I don't. You haven't said it yet.
Butter tarts.
Butter tarts.
Raisins?
Or no,
No raisins.
You know the answer. No raisins.
No
Yes.
raisins.
Sorry.
Team no
It's
raisins.
not
Sorry.
celebrity.
You know, raisins are fine, currants are fine, but keep them out of the butter tarts.
No, keep
Actually, I like currants too.
He doesn't
Currants
like
and butter
currants.
tarts aren't
No.
bad.
Yeah, but then it's no longer a butter tart. It's a currant tart.
You're not wrong. I agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
I don't.
I don't like that.
A
crunchy.
pecan pie is great, but don't put them in a butter tart.
no,
Yeah.
Then
exactly.
it becomes.
Then it's a
A
pecan,
tart. Yes.
I know I'm splitting hairs here, but
No, you gotta draw a line
Yeah.
somewhere. It's very okay.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that it's okay that he doesn't want raisins in there, but I also kind of like that he doesn't want currants in there either.
I do love currants. I used them in something. What was I made something.
Eccles cakes.
Yeah, it was something British.
Eccles? Eccles cakes?
Yeah,
Eccles
that
cakes or
has
Eccles
currants.
cakes? Yeah. Those are actually quite tasty.
Oh,
Those.
hot cross buns. I put currants in
Oh,
hot
yeah,
cross
yeah,
buns.
Yes. Yeah.
See, that's a perfect spot for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it's a bread,
Yeah.
Yes.
and it goes perfectly fine in there.
Yeah. Especially if you toast it, right? If you toast
Yeah, and then put a bunch of butter
and
on
then
it.
a whole pile of butter. Anything is good with butter. Butter.
Everything's better with butter.
But better.
Love butter.
Better butter.
Bit of butter.
Bread, you
Better.
can't bread bad, but you can butter butter.
You get better butter.
Breaded butter.
Bread and butter, better butter.
Actually, I think they do that in some places.
There's a wine
They
called
might.
bread and butter.
They might.
Yes.
That's a thing. It's a thing somewhere.
At
Someplace.
fairs
Bread
and stuff.
butter? Bread and butter.
Bread and butter is
Weird,
awesome.
eh?
No, battered butter fried.
Yes.
Oh, fried butter.
Fried butter.
Fried butter. Oh, they probably do that at like the Stampede or at the PNE because they always
Yeah.
they fry everything.
Yeah.
They fry
You
like
get a buffalo burger and then you have a yum.
Stick of butter with it.
Stick of
Stick of
butter.
butter.
Stick a deep fried
you
butter.
know, I love butter, but I don't know that I could eat a stick of butter.
Yeah, no.
Well,
Well,
that was cool.
do you think the bread's cooled down enough for us to
I think it probably has.
Let's
butter bread?
let's go
I'm so
bite into
excited.
that.
Let's go.
Okay, awesome.
And not wait till we cut into these beauties.
I'm so excited.
go.
Oh man.
Oh man, look at that.
Oh, I can't wait.
It smells so good.
Oh,
I wish you
there's
guys
nothing
were.
like fresh baked bread.
There really isn't. And like there's just something homey about it. Like I grew up with my grandmother making a lot of bread
Yeah.
growing up.
So
Bouncy as can be.
And it just takes me back there every time I have some bread. And this actually reminds me, because I'm Portuguese,
Yeah.
and we have a sweet bread. And this kind of reminds
Christmas
me of
favorite.
that. Yeah, pão doce, or massa doce. We called it actually, our pão doce. Those were the two ways that we refer to it. But yeah, it's so delicious. And this almost smells like it, because it's an enriched dough like this. It doesn't have the udane at the
No.
beginning, but the enriched part and everything, it's so good. But it does take a lot longer to rise and proof and whatnot.
We're gonna dig in, but
Let's dig in.
before we dig in, do you have a baking scrap to share with our listeners?
When you're making bread, quite often it says to do this, mix it up a little bit, then add this in, then add the rest of the flour, keep mixing, and then you can put the rest of the flour in. If you have a mixer, you can, for the most part, put everything in all at once and just get going.
Dump it.
It's gonna work fine usually. There might be a few instances, like if you're making brioche, you have to add the butter in later
A
on
little
to
bit
get
at a time,
to,
yeah.
to make it work right. But for most basic breads, you can just put everything all at once, mix it up. Especially if you're using a mixer,
Yeah.
Perfect.
Nice.
it's gonna work perfectly
Love it.
fine.
That's good. So you were also saying as we were making this that it's more forgiving than we think it's going to be. So you can be a little bit off with certain measurements.
Yeah, I weigh things out and do things like that, but it's not gonna make a lick of difference if you're out a couple grams here and there on
doing things like bread and things like that. Some things are a little bit more tactical. You need to be like, even making macarons, you have to be pretty more right on with things.
Yeah.
Bread, there's a little bit more flexibility. You're also using larger volume of things, so a couple grams here and there, it's going to make.
Yeah, because you
Except
kind
for your
of, you
yeast.
kind of
I mean,
free poured the yeast a
free
little
poured
bit.
the yeast into this.
Free pouring yeast.
Look at it.
Turned out perfectly fine, but
It looks amazing.
having been putting yeast in these things for a while, I don't
Yeah.
what it should look like.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a good thing we had you here.
Educated
yeah.
guess on
So
free
baking
pouring
is
yeast.
science, but there is some wiggle room around the edges.
Perfect.
It's perfectly fine.
Perfect.
Nice.
Well, thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Let's enjoy.
Yeah,
Yes,
enjoy
let's do
it.
this. Yeah, look at that.
Oh my god.
It is so soft.
Just so soft.
I mean, look at that.
With whipped butter. Oh, we're so lucky. Okay.
Yeah.
Cheers, you guys.
If you don't eat it on the
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Cheers.
So you guys gotta try this. It's delicious. With Larry's help, taking you through, everybody can do this. Thanks,
a lot.
Larry.
No
Thank
problem.
you, Larry.
It was a pleasure.
Thanks, Larry.
See ya.